Hey, this is Benny Knows. Today is Political Dumpster Day, and we'll be discussing drowning in my own tears. It's been about 2 months since our presidential election, and some people are still running around drowning in their own tears. When did we become crybabies? When did we become so weak? The last 2 months have been the best series of movies I've ever seen. Better than Lifetime Marathon on a rainy Saturday afternoon. The absolute shock for the media that could have been so wrong with their polls, an evil portrayal of Mr. Trump as an orange-haired clown. The look on their faces was priceless during the early morning hours of the 9th of November. The celebration speech they had prepared was for Hillary, not the Don. So they had nothing that made any sense to say. They sounded like babbling idiots. During the early morning hours of the election, they looked like a deer caught in very bright headlights. Grown people, I'm talking grown men, openly weeping, crying like a crybaby looking for a pacifier or a soft teddy bear. All the political pigs in the D.C. swamp, confused, running around like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to save their slop in the slipping trough. Then we saw crybabies in the street, throwing a temper tantrum because mommy wouldn't let them have their way. Hillary walking out on her supporters as they openly wept, drowning in their own tears waiting for her. She didn't show. She was busy drowning in her own tears, having a temper tantrum, so she sent one of her puppies out to tell her supporters to go home, and guess what? They obeyed and went on. The next day, they took to the streets, breaking windows, setting fires, and acting crazy. It's been interesting to watch the so-called Trump friends over at Fox News trying to hide their disappointment in his win. People like Geraldo Rivera, Bill O'Reilly, Shepard Smith, Brett Baer, Chris Wallace, and let's not forget Miss Megyn Kelly, the phony baloney who attacked the Don with her first question in the first debate. The question that dogged him throughout his campaign. Do you really want us to believe, Miss Megyn, that you, Brett, and Chris did not discuss how this one question would potentially destroy the Don? Do you not know that this came through loud and clear, my dear? Karma shows up when we least expect it, Miss Megyn. Good luck to you over at NBC. And then there's Geraldo Rivera, who pretends to be the Don's friend from way back, but stabs him in the back every chance he gets. We've all had friends like Geraldo. Jealousy can be a dangerous thing, Mr. Rivera. Now, because the Don, and I mean no disrespect, calling the president-elect the Don, I say it because the Don represents power. I'm talking controlled, high IQ superpower. Now that he is naming his cabinet with brilliant superstars, his enemies are having a field day, trying to bring every one of them down. Hey, keep trying, you guys. These cabinet nominees are not chumps with no backbone. They are the real deal. And they don't give a good cahoot if you call them racist. The term has been so overused, that it has no meaning anymore. Step on somebody's toe, and you're a racist. Black folks have allowed white folks and race hustlers to hijack the word and demean its true meaning. They've hijacked it to use it at will to keep you on their plantation and create the illusion that they have your best interest at heart. What a joke. The media and black TV puppets on these news shows are whining about diversity in the Don's administration. But they had no problem telling blacks, women, and Latinos to vote Hillary only. He'll do what all the other administrations have done. He'll put a dot here, a dot there, a Latino there, a gay over there, and a woman over here. And there's your diversity. For all my sisters and brothers, why do you keep allowing yourselves to be used by white power to advance their personal power and money? People like Loretta, yes, I'm talking Loretta, the highest law enforcement officer in the world. Then there's Susan, Colin, and Donna. Ask them about being thrown away by their so-called white friends like a bad cheeseburger when you're no longer useful to them. What will it take for us to finally wake up and save ourselves? We keep falling for empty promises. Have you noticed how many black folk in so-called high positions have been destroyed in the last 8 years? Think about it. Now, just as a side issue, I have a bone to pick with some of those black cable and national news puppets. And I recently noticed black members of Congress. All of these people who are blessed with dark skin, who allow these white makeup folk, who apparently have never heard of Fashion Fair makeup, to put the white flour powder on their face, making them look like some messed up minstrel from the Amos and Andy show and shove them in front of a TV camera. These are the same minstrels who are always shouting racism. How crazy is that? Surely you have access to a mirror. You know you can't wear the same makeup your white counterparts wear. Stop these people from putting this white flour on your face. If Hillary can carry hot sauce in her pocketbook for you, surely you can carry Fashion Fair makeup in yours. For God's sake, as a last resort, learn how to do your own makeup. And then guess what? All of a sudden, I see Bernie Sanders pop back up, shouting what he'll do if the Don doesn't do what he tells him to do. This is the same Bernie Sanders who deserted his supporters when Hillary told them to and faded into darkness until Hillary lost. Hey, Bernie, it was Hillary, not President-elect Trump, who made you an offer you couldn't refuse. And everybody knows it. Get over it and enjoy your retirement in your new Hillary home. Hillary saw to it that you are not the president, burn, burn. Try to sleep at night. Then these media dunces want the Don to sell all of his properties and businesses to prevent any so-called conflict of interest. Can you believe it? The man built these businesses along with his children for years. And you want him to sell them to satisfy your mind and make you feel good, to strip him of all of his wealth? You want him to stop talking to his children, who apparently love their father. I tell you what, why don't we lock his whole family in a vault over at Goldman Sachs for 8 years, and have Lindsey Graham and John McCain guard it. Good luck. It ain't gonna happen, boo-boo. It's not like we didn't know about his businesses and wealth before the election, and no laws have been broken thus far. This is just another sneaky way the Never Trumpers and Hillary Crybaby group is trying to break this man. You know what? You represent pure, unadulterated evil. What do you recommend his children do? Go to the nearest social services on Fifth Avenue in New York and apply for food stamps? Would that make the babies feel better? Grow the hell up. This man is so smart, he'll continue to run rings around the dishonest media who insist upon saying things that make them look desperate and sad. Now, many on the left are in a mode of hysteria, running around blaming Putin for hacking, thus causing Americans to vote for the Don. This is pure nonsense. These same talking heads who predicted that the Don didn't have a chance in hell of becoming the nominee for president and winning are now trying to tell him who to pick for his cabinet and what he should do to run the affairs of the U.S. of A. Like the Don is going to listen to them. Not a snowball chance in hell, my friend. So sit back and enjoy the ride, because a change is about to come. There's going to be a lot revealed, and you will see a lot of shock and awe. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who was going to leave the good old U.S. of A. if the Don won, your Greyhound bus is still waiting. This is Betty Knows. As always, be true to yourself.